Hey, welcome to the stream. So today I will be telling some creepy stories on the creepypasta app I got. Creepypasta, however you want to say it. And will work. Which one should I tell you? Oh, come on. Okay, just gotta wait for the app to open up. It's not the one. Where'd the other one go? Where I had another one here. There it is. Okay. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to find a good one. Here we go. Okay, this one's called Stairs to the Void. Have you ever seen a dark hallway before? or perhaps a cave with an endless passage, or at a pit that leads to nowhere. Some would say they have seen one, but never ventured to it. This, this particular, particular story is something a little more than a tunnel or hallway, but rather a stairway, one that leads you to an abyss. As another ordinary day starts, a simple security guard starts their day with coffee and then their 1 hour shift at the library. They arrive a 3-story Victorian building that stands in Kentucky. The job is fairly simple. Make sure no books are taken, no vandalism is done, and most importantly, make sure no one is allowed in the back room. Why is the back room mostly important? Yeah, why? Like, why would they do that? Like, why would they say that the back room is mostly important, saying that the back room is off limits at all costs? Well, one knows themselves from 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 a.m. at night. He opens the doors and closes them for years. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened. As the hour reaches to 10 p.m., the library is considered closed, but the security guard must stay until 12 a.m. as the library closes. Another day of off no problems. Howard simply sits and rests until midnight. That is until a small sound is heard. Surprised by this, the security guard makes their way to the bookshelves. They call out, "Hello? Library is closed." No answer. Once once again the noise is heard, this time towards the back room. "You aren't supposed to be here. Come out and I'll something you out." Again no answer. The security guard approaches the door to the back room and knocks. "I'm coming in and I want your hands up." When I open the door, the noise stops. The security guard storms in, but nothing. The room is empty with nothing but a desk, a chair, a stairway, and a cabinet. Confused, the guard scopes around to see if there are signs of movement or life, but there was nothing at all. Just after the guard begins to walk back, the same sound is heard, except towards the stairway. They approach it and the sound becomes more defined. You could describe it as if it were metal rods falling on the floor. The guard approaches the stairway. The sound is more clear as they look down. The stairs spiral downwards into what could be another room. They began their descent with a flashlight at hand. The, the atmosphere began to fall, ominous and eerie. The guard calls out again, "You shouldn't be in here. Show yourself immediately." However, instead of no response, a low growl escapes from the darkness. S- Slightly frightened, the guard calls out one more time, "Show yourself." The flashlight begins to flicker uncontrollably with yet another low growl. The guard attempts to retreat back into the back room. However, they couldn't see the room. There was no light anymore. They could they continue to climb the stairs, hoping they can reach the top. But alas, they, they couldn't. They cry out, "Is anyone here?" Now, instead of one low growl, the entire dark space lets out numerous growls and the sound of distant metal falling. Filled with panic, the guard descends down, hopefully to reach the bottom. But what felt like hours, the guard was still in the stairs, waiting and waiting for the floor. The sounds continued to torment the guard, and soon the sound stopped. The guard points their flashlight to the darkness, only to see hideous skeletal figures on the walls. The figure turns and shrieks, and soon all the figures do the same. The guard takes no time and starts to run up the stairs, covered in tears and filled with sheer terror. The guard off, scares of, screams of the horror they witnessed. Soon they reach the back room. The noises immediately stopped as soon as the guard left the back room and locked the door. Shaken by the insidious being, the guard looks at the time, only for it to be 10:01 p.m. What felt like hours of pure torment, the guard locked the library and left dark rooms and such sound a little more sinister than they have been before. The darkness is no joke. What hides in it can truly make your blood run cold. Well, that That story is, I would have to admit that story is pretty creepy. Like, let's talk about this one for a minute, right? You're just starting a shift, and you have these these sounds coming from every direction. You go to check every direction, and there's nothing there, possibly to make those sounds. And then you check the last area that sound happened in, and keep following the sound down until you're scared and you feel like running back up. You realize that you're not going to get anywhere. So you just think, fuck it, I'm going to keep going down. I've got to see what this noise is. I've got to do my job. And then you run into these skeleton looking figures. Like, that's truly terrifying. So let's find another one. This story is called Beg for Mercy. I don't know what it's about. These are just random stories that I'm reading out to you, and I hope you do like these stories. Um, so this one's called Beg for Mercy. They are going to kill me. I know they will. Ever since Algie left for an early retirement, I haven't I haven't touched a thing on my plate. I haven't eaten in several days because I am highly suspicious that they place during a high end drug in the food. I'm not paranoid, honestly, but some of the other patients have come despondent and unresponsive to my input and somewhat weak attempt at conversation. Nobody talks to me anymore, and since all I do is lie here in and play dead, no one bothers to harass me. I originally came in because of my sentient position with death. I wondered what it'd be like to die. So many people want to take their life. And I simply want to know what all the hype is about. I'm not stupid. I know people do it as a way out. They don't want death. They just want to exit. They just want to exit. They want a form of escape. I've been escaping all my life. They ask, why are you running? Mercy. I tell them, I never run. I only briskly walk out of bad situations, and my life has been full of bad situations. I come here seeking asylum, but now this asylum has become my prison. I was just looking for second a option when the voices came. They called me crazy. The voices and the pretty red stains on the floor. They bled. They bled. Their screams powered out, and their tears came flooding out. They tried to wash the blood away, but it just kept coming back. They scrubbed the evidence till their hands were raw, but nothing could erase the stain of memory they left behind. Spoke the voice which sounded strangely to come straight from the bathroom sink. At first I thought I was just delirious from the lack of food and sunlight. I was just stir crazy. It was stress and it was going to my head. I needed some rest. I could see my hand darken slightly underneath the cheap fluorescent lights above me. I'm really losing it. I could see a vein like strand of darkness snake its way up my arm. My hand slightly twitched, and my fingernail became a dark purple hue. The nails were sharp as knives. I had to fight this. I needed to snap out of this. This wasn't real, I kept telling myself. It just kept happening no matter how much I doubted it. These episodes were getting worse. Each episode was more intense than the last, and each episode seemed to last a little bit longer. Then the voices started forming faces of clowns. If you ever, just wait, guys, I'll be back. What was I up to? That's right. If you ever seen a horror movie where a clown showed up out of nowhere, I've probably seen every single one. The voices began singing to me at first. The the voice wasn't particularly pretty to listen to, but I enjoyed hearing its harsh, eerie tones. He sang clown songs. Other times he sung nursery rhymes in a falsetto voice. He had many names. At first he called himself Mervo. Mervo isn't real. Mervo is purely fiction. So I know you can't be Mervo. Who are you really? I challenged him. I am whoever you wish me to be. Fair enough, but why Mervo? No more. Is it that you like clowns? And so you're trying to lure me away to your underground home. Who said anything about luring you away? All I'm doing is talking. Yes, just like all the other voices in my head. No, trust me, I could do much more than talk to you. The voice became unnaturally low. I looked up from the sink, and instead of seeing my face, I saw a painted white face with wet blood, red lips, prominent, prominent, prominent front teeth, and a prominent forehead. I could see intricate streaks of red drawn down underneath his eyes. See, I'm Mervo. No, you're not. Don't you think I'm stupid? He looked rather disappointed that I wasn't impressed with his new disguise. Balloon? Grey-filled arm shot out from the mirror. What the hell would I do with a balloon? Do I look like a child to you? No, of course. But what matters is your heart. It is so tiny, so pure, so unattached, and raw and beautiful. I almost wish I could touch it. I could see the saliva slide off his bottom lip. Don't you have some children to tend to? No children down here, just me and my balloons. Unless, of course, you wanted to join me, I wouldn't mind the company, and very, it is ever so lonely down here. Oh, cry me a river. I already have only it wasn't For you, I'm drowning in my tears, tears of all the children, tears for all eyes that went dim, tears for all the faces that were stolen and voices that were locked away, tears for all my buried friends. No one hears their tears drop, but I hear them, and I bottle them away. I save their tears to remember their names. Their hearts were pure and innocent as a lamb. They come without fear in hope of finding eternal life, but instead of all they found was death. Probably were responsible for luring these children to their deaths, right? A child is a gift. To steal a gift is quite a nasty crime. Enough with the enough with the old English and poetry. You aren't following me. You ain't fooling me. All you are is a sad little clown with a creepy smile. You don't scare me. Besides, I like clowns, remember? Indeed, clowns are your friends, aren't they? So I know. Do you think you could be my friend, Mercy? What price? There is no price for friendship. All I want is your com- company, nothing more. I'm not buying it. What's the catch? There's no catch. Give me a smile, and I shall be content. I have no reason to smile. I've given that up. Oh, come on, just give me one. Tennessee, Tennessee, smile. Teensy weensy smile. You know how to smile, don't you? Have you forgotten? I know it's been so long since you had a happy moment in your life. I want you to be happy forever and all time. He tilted his head to the side so far I could hear his bones crack till the strain, under the strain. Does that hurt your neck to do that? His sinister grin dropped to a serious expression. No, not in the slightest. I don't feel a thing. I wish I knew how to do that. Not feel at anything. You just want to be numb till you just want to be a numb little zombie like the rest of the world. Just a dead robot obeying orders all day and all night. Be an individual, they tell you, but then strip you of every single imperfection. They tell you, but then strip you of every single imperfection until you're nothing more than a plastic toy. Be grateful you can feel things. You don't want to end up like the rest of everybody that came here, do you? Why, what happened to them? Oh, they were told they would get better. They were promised freedom and relief from their inner troubles and sorrows. They were told they would receive a new kind of medication. Were they given the new drug? Oh, yes, they did eventually, but not in the way they expected. The medication had a terrible side effect on that they used to their advantage. What was it? I mean, what was the side effect? Complete apathy. There is no fear, no pain, no emotion, no depression, just complete emptiness, empty thoughts, empty mind, empty heart. And evidently, that makes people very easy to control. How is it administered, and how? Who is this that you speak of? People that are in charge of this establishment, the scientists who created the drug. They want your complete surrender. No, I'm not being controlled by anyone. What is it in the food? Mic- Microchips under the skin, brain implants, lobotomy. You're just a ridiculous fantasy. I've made you up in my head. You're a joke. You know that? No mercy. I think you'll find it's your life that's a joke. Not me. I may look funny to you, but I'm actually being quite serious. Just because I'm a clown doesn't mean I'm always clowning around. Wait and you'll see. Then go one by one. Just leave me alone. You're probably the reason I'm in here in the first place. Suit yourself. Never smile, never play, never laugh, never lie, never, never live again. The image of him faded from the mirror, and I was left with my own reflection. My hair was the colour of pearls, and my eyes were the colour of amber. But today they appeared a hot metallic yellow. They were just like his. I realized just like that creepy clown could feel my hand tingling again. Back, black was coming back again. I'm hallucinating, ain't I? Well, that one, the beg of mercy, like this, that's that story. It tells you like how people when they go into asylums, how fucked up the asylums make them. And that's what's scary about asylums. They'll do anything to control you and all that. But at the end, at the end of the story, like like the guy said, um, the image of him faded from the mirror, and I was left with my own reflection. Like he, he was saying, like he saw his reflection that he was seeing at first. Then he saw his true reflection, which was like the creepy clown. Like his nails were sharp. He had the red and the white and all that, and the metallic yellow, saying that his eyes were just like his, and just like that creepy clown, I could feel my hand tingling again. The black was coming back again. I, I'm hallucinating, aren't I? So him saying that he's hallucinating, he doesn't know what to believe is real or fake. And that's what I'm saying in that story. So there's another one. You guys want me to search up any stories that you want to hear, just let me know. Say it in the chat. How big this one is. Okay, this one's called Indigo Syndrome. I'm writing this now so that whoever sees this will know the truth of what happened here while I still have a grip on my sanity. I won't say people's names or changing. My name is my name is Jessica, and I want to start from the very beginning. It all started when my uncle told me what happened. My uncle's name is Jim, and my cousin's name is Sam. They went hunting for a father-daughter bonding trip as a way to get closer. My uncle Jim, wanted a boy but got Sam instead. So he treated her just like a boy. He got her into sports and other boy activities such as hunting. Sam loved doing boy activities, so they ended up making their hunting trips a tradition. Between the two of them, they killed a deer or two, maybe even a of a rabbit of a bear if they were lucky. One of On this particular day, my uncle told me things were quite different as they set up the deer lines. Everything seemed to get quite quiet around them, like way too quiet. Not even a bird or a cricket was chirping like they usually would. There wasn't a single peep. Uncle Tom didn't think anything so and the about it thought and the duo got into the tree line. As they were waiting for something to come by, they heard a strange noise in the woods area across from them. It sounded like a shrill scream. It frightened Stan, who was normally very brave enough to hold to her dad out of fear. Uncle Jim patted her on the head and reassured her, Jim, it's all right. sweetheart. It's probably Wolf's doing their breakfast this morning. Nothing to be afraid of.
I know there was three things that you can't make on
Mm.
YouTube.